What's going on, everybody? This is the Poke Technician. Excited to have you back on the channel with a brand new series. We'll get into that in just a moment. But before we do, I would like to announce that we have a partner on the channel today collaborating with us. It is Chris Allen from Chris Allen VGC YouTube channel and the Wandering Legends.
What's up, everyone? Happy to be here.
Yeah, man, I'm sure we're all happy to have you back. And basically what we're doing right now, Chris and I, are taking a look at the SSBG Draft League, the DLC, which is about mid-season right now. We're kind of analyzing our teams, the battles that we've had so far, and then taking a look at each division and where they're at in terms of the playoff race. Chris has done this analysis for his division, the Ice Riders division, over on his channel. I will link that down below, and you guys should definitely go check that out because he's doing really, really well over there.
Yeah, thankfully. I mean, if it wasn't, it'd be pretty hard to record it.
Yeah, that would not be an enjoyable recording. But anyhow, today I'm going to take you guys through what's going on in the Shadow Riders division so far, starting with just a real quick team analysis of my team, I think.
And with that, let's go ahead and pull that up.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. So as you can see, we did mention this over on his side of things, but I was part of the council that put things into tiers. We had tier S and then tiers 1 through 5. Everyone was able to get 1 tier S mon, and then 2 of every other tier except for tier 3, which we got 3 of. So taking a look, I progressed through my draft pretty similarly to what I think Chris said on his channel the other day. I pretty much just started at S and worked my way down, actually. And I had the number 2 pick in the draft, so kind of close to wheel pick. And I had the thing that I was planning on picking going into the draft was Magirna, and I was able to snag that. The mon that went before Magirna was Torn T, so definitely not something that was on my radar to be picked first overall.
Yeah, what was it?
Tornadus T.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually had a hand in getting Tornadus T bumped up to S tier. I think it was a 3-2 decision on where we were going to place Torn T, and I think it is worthy of S tier, but definitely not the first pick overall, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a surprising steal pick. Well, not steal, but yeah.
So we ended up going with Magirna. I don't know what you think about Magirna, but pretty busted mon, especially in this format. Just has such extremely good versatility in terms of what it can bring to your team, especially in offense, of course, with that Soul Heart ability. And a really great typing. And in order to shore up the ground weakness and fire weakness that Magirna has, with my first tier 1 pick, I decided to pick Garchomp. Thought it covered everything pretty well. Magirna is kind of more specially oriented. Garchomp's more physically oriented, but they're both really strong setup mons. So they're kind of those mons you're going to be seeing me bring one, the other, or both to almost every single match. Next up, we picked up Zapdos. I thought it was another really nice immunity for ground types. It is starting to cause a little bit of an ice weakness, but we'll shore that up later. And then it's my main defogger. That's why I wanted to pick up Zapdos, is it's such a great defogger. It has a really underrated special attack too. Like its hurricanes and thunderbolts and heat waves hit extremely hard if you invest right, or if you decide to invest differently, you can be more bulky. So gives you some options that way. Next up, we got Tangrowth, which was a nice bulky grass type. Not going to be brought to every match, but can really cause some issues for opponents with regenerator ability. Rotom Heat was another nice electric type that is immune to ground types that don't have Mold Breaker. Another defogger, another great Volt Turner. I tried to go with a very strong Volt Turn core when I started this team, but I did make a few trades that I'll get into here in a minute. Next up, we went into tier 3, where I originally picked up Porygon 2, ended up trading that for Miltank later on. Never brought Porygon 2 to a game, so. Then we also swapped our Starmie, which we originally had for Seismitoad here, who I have brought to 1 game so far. And then we have Vaporeon, kind of our cleric for the team. Wish Passer, Heal Beller, brings things like haze to stop setup sweeps. Silvally normal, that was originally Coffagrigus, but I felt like we wanted another hazard remover, a good coverage mon. And then we got Skuntank. That was kind of an MVP pick for my 2.5 season. I just wanted to bring that back. Hitmonchan for rapid spin and some priority, and Spiritomb, kind of the same idea. A really nice priority mon in the low tiers that can hit pretty hard. So, what do you think of the team comp there?
Overall, I like it. Like you said, Magearna, with Soul Heart, it can, if it starts rolling and your opponent, doesn't prioritize making sure they effectively prevent it from doing that, it's going to easily sit there and boost up. Garchomp, that's a really good mon. You could run it super bulky, rocky helmet plus the damage from its rough skin, and sit there and force the opponent to constantly take damage by switching out uh, after they hit it with physical moves. Zapdos, Earthquake switch out, good coverage with the Heat Wave, Thunderbolt, Roost, Defog. Tangrowth for bulk, gives you a regenerator option when you need it. Rotom Heat, same thing. The benefit with that one is it's one of your two main fire types that are going to be safe to switch into earthquakes. So always nice to have that. Well, on the majority, minus Mold Breaker.
Right.
Miltank, very annoying. Speed tier is a lot more than what people normally think. You got Seismitoad there. Good bulk. Could also. Does anything on your team get Rain Dance?
Yeah. Oh, almost everything.
There you go. Swift Stem, Seismitoad.
I was thinking about running a Vaporeon Rain Dance earlier this season, but something else
That's
changed
just
it for
some
me
fun
instead.
tech if you really want to throw someone off that you have at your options. Savali normal, pretty good. Usually you see it with normal gem explosion. A good way to really just force the opponent to do something. Also gets parting shot too, I believe, right?
Yep, sure does.
Uh,
And U-turn for another pivot type move.
yeah, so you get a pivot move with chip, you get pivot move with lowering status. So if your opponent has something in there trying to set up, you come in, you pivot out to something to counter, as well as making it less able to hit what you're bringing in. Skunk Tank gets Sucker Punch priority as well. Hitmonchan, like you said, priority, as well as Rapid Spin, boosting its speed even more. Uh, Also can run Indoor and what's the move, Steven?
Reversal.
Not Reversal, the one that
Endeavor.
Memento, based on your HP, right?
No,
No, what's the one that's like the lower your HP is, the more damage it does?
that's reversal.
Oh, okay, then yeah, Reversal.
Yeah.
And then Spiritomb has a pretty solid typing. I mean, same as Sableye, as well as being able to, use Sucker Punch. So if your
Shadow
opponent
Sneak.
can't,
He got Poltergeist, which is so awesome for this mon.
yeah, he did. So overall, it's a good team composition. A lot of ways to balance itself out and check what one thing can't handle each week. So it's overall, I like it.
That's what I went for. It was a lot of trying to make sure you can check multiple very common typings and not have a lot of typing weaknesses that opponents can take advantage of. So I think we did that pretty well.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I guess let's see. We can start hopping into the battles, and maybe we can talk about my kill leaders a little bit here. As you can see mine on this board right here. Garchomp looking really nice. The 8 kills is good over 5 games. Not insanely good, but pretty good. The thing I'm really proud of is the 0 deaths on Garchomp. Yeah, this thing's just been a menace. And even this week, week 5, I had a pretty solid showing, and it could have done a lot more, but I just wanted to make sure I played the game kind of more smart in an intelligent fashion instead of just trying to purposely get kills for Garchomp. So
I do like how we both got a 6-0 on this recording week.
yeah, I know that was like perfect. I mean, yeah, way to spoil it, man. But yeah,
Well, it's right there.
yeah, I know. We're gonna watch it in just a minute too, guys. But yeah, my differential's been really good so far. I had one week where it was a 2-0, and it really should have been a 3-0, but the guy was sashed at the very end of the game. But anyhow, yeah, let's jump into my week 1 battle here. So this was versus Reagan, who is currently 0-5. She's the lowest the lowest ranked player in our division right now. So, but you know, her team is really, really good, and she has some really good ideas, as you can see here. If you want to just kick it off, we can start off the game. My plan here, as I know I've played her before, and she plays kind of conventionally, like she'll stay in your face and try and hit you for the most part. So I decided to go with dual trick here. I led with the trick Rotom and tricked the Cresselia, the choice scarf, which was just perfect because this was a light screen reflect variant. I believe it has like Moonlight and Moonblast or something like that as well. So locking it into any of those moves is going to be just fine for me, as I do Volt Switch out into the Starmie and trick the Mew, another choice scarf. And I did that for this specific reason, because I knew it would be a setup variant. So out comes the Registill. I can flip turn. This is why I was looking for momentum in my team. Volt Switch, U-turn, flip turn, parting shot, things like that. It really allows you to position yourself throughout the match, especially if you come in with like a specific game plan and battle calculations. Anyhow, he's going to try and she's going to try and set up here with the Registeel. Fortunately, my Vaporeon has Haze. So as they go for the Amnesia, Body Press was probably the better play there. Oh, no Haze this match. I do have the Roar, that's right. That's why I didn't outspeed. So we throw off a Scald here, just for BP. And then another Wish. They're going to try and set up again. Yeah. So I'm surprised they didn't figure out that this was probably not a successful plan at this point. As we do just roar them out. So now Lantern came in. This was kind of a threatening position, actually, for my opponent to be in against me. As here they went for the Discharge. Does a pretty good chunk, and they can pack the Ice Beam, which is definitely scary. Here I think I clicked the Roost to remove my Flying type and scout out that Ice Beam. We do see the Ice Beam come off. I'm going to start going for Discharge just to check what its ability is, if it's Water Absorb or the Volt Absorb. And it is the Volt Absorb. Take another Ice Beam, go for a Roost. Problem is here is they're going to get a super lucky freeze. Yeah, so I mean, there's kind of a chance of that happening, but it's only 10% per attack, so a little bit hacksy, but not a big deal. So we do take out, this was AV Magearna, I believe. So it's going to tank these hits, no problem.
You did take a pair there too, right after the freeze.
Yeah, 30% chance. I mean, I can deal with that. 10% chance, and it does it after 3 times. That's a little hacksy. So they just continue to spam Discharge. Like I said, their playstyle is one where they like to stay in front of people and just try and dish out damage for the most part. In comes Salazzle, and now I'm forced to switch out as they Nasty Plot. I think they will be able to KO my Rotom here with a Sludge Wave. However, we can just bring in Vaporeon and threaten them. Oh, we decided to go Garchomp. Okay, so they might be fearing the Scarf Chomp, which I'm not here. I'm gonna set up Scale Shot Garchomp. Knocks off my lefties. I do. Oh no, this is the Toxic Stall Chomp. I'm getting my weeks mixed up here. So this was more of a defensive Chomp, actually. One of the few times this season I've brought defensive Chomp. Just kind of trying to whittle the Tornadus down, although it can just regenerate up. Decides to go for the Taunt. Here we go for the Scald, I'm sure. It's going to knock off our leftovers.
I am surprised they opted to stay in.
Yeah, definitely surprising. I mean, I am 3 support moves on this Vaporeon, I believe, with Scald as my only attacking move, but I don't know. I don't know what the game plan there was. Here they bring Salazzle right back in, and I'm able to just straight KO that. So definitely not a good revenge attempt on their part. But you have to remember that their other 2 Pokemon were trick crippled at the same time. So definitely difficult for them to get much offense off of my Vaporeon here.
Well, Mew got rid of its scarf, so only Cresselia was tricked.
No, Mew has the choice scarf too from my Starmie.
Oh,
I
I
don't
thought
have.
Mew gave you a choice scarf.
No, I gave him the choice scarf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I knew he was going to click Dragon Dance, so I locked him into it basically. And then here we can just easily outlast. Something scary will happen towards the end here, actually. But basically here I'm just trying to keep my Pokemon healthy with Vaporeon, whittle down the opponent's Pokemon as Vaporeon can take on anything they decide to send in. And at this point, I'm actually like really hoping to get the Scald Burn as they continue to just spam Fire Punch. I have Heal Bell, so not a big deal if they do burn me with their Fire Punch. As their Synchronized does burn me. But anyhow, this is kind of a stally end game to this, but I did want to maintain my differential. You know I'm a stickler for that. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to do was toss a last minute wish to Magearna to get it healed up and start rolling with the Soul Heart. So that's kind of why I'm playing this long game as well.
Okay.
Because I knew if I Soul Heart up, I can start dishing out some really strong Aura Spheres to the Registeel. So here it's going to be just more of the same stall game type type deal. Moonblast, Scald. Probably will go Scald again here. Oh, just go for the wish. Okay. Probably could have just taken one more Moonblast there. This is kind of me delaying the game a bit, but oh, this is when I decided to go out into the Magearna. That's why. So we get healed up almost back to full there.
I was actually a little surprised you did that at that point. I thought you were going to keep maybe throw two more Skulls on it and let the burn get it down to where the turn you switch, it dies from burn on that switch.
That is what I think I do here, actually, now that I've Volt switched back out into Vaporeon. So I can bring in Magearna, let it die with the burn and get the free Soul Heart boost. Here I'll catch my wish. Yeah, it's not going to go down to the burn. I think I just KO it here, actually. And then out comes the Registeel. So here, this is actually a really precarious situation because I can no longer roar out the Registeel to remove its stat boost since it's the only remaining opponent. So I just start clicking the Aura Sphere, trying to make sure I get off some damage. Luckily, my opponent didn't pack the rest, which would have been absolutely, they might have 1v5 my team with the rest set. Continuing to go for the chip with Aura Sphere, but the lefties are starting to negate the amount of damage I'm doing. So now that he's going to start going for some iron defenses and I get paralyzed, I'm going to switch out into Garchomp. Because I know I can take his body press with Garchomp, hit him with the rough skin in return, and then finish him off with an Earthquake. Yeah, so that was week one, a nice 5-0 victory. And like I said, Reagan is 10th in our division right now out of 10. So it was I kind of had an inkling that it would be kind of a warm-up game for me just to try and understand my team a little bit better. Yeah, but we can move into week two where we're playing against Excadrill. So here's where that Mold Breaker comes into play with the Rotom. Fortunately, Tangrowth is a really great check for opposing ground types, even ones with Mold Breaker like Excadrill.
All right, Luxray. No timer. Yeah, I'd have been like,
Yeah,
nope, timer.
I'm narrating, man. Come on. He just goes straight for the Shadow Ball. I knew he would switch into Drill. It was a safe bet too if he stayed in with Pult to go for the Ice Beam. Tangrowth was my dedicated switch for Excadrill, and he didn't bring a Swords Dance set, which was super nice for me too. Out comes the Pult. I knock it off, I believe. Yep, super nice prediction there. Here he goes for the U-turn, hoping for the static, but don't get it. He's going to try and stop me from defogging with a taunt. Set up some screens, but that's okay. I can just Volt Switch out. Consume my Citrus Berry there, which is nice for a little bit of recovery, then switch back out so I'm not taunted. Decides to go into Drill here, as I believe I defog. No, just go into Tangrowth, predicting the potential Rock Slide probably. So here was Audino was kind of a threat in this game actually, because I didn't have anything with like fighting type coverage to really just take out Audino. Fortunately, I do believe they are going to let their Audino fall earlier than they probably should have, considering it's their Cleric. I can defog the hazards away there, but they will catch the Wish with their Dragapult. It's really nice that we were able to knock off their Specs, because Specs Dragapult goes to town on pretty much my entire team. Can't OHKO Magirna, but it can 2-KO Magirna, so. Decides to stay in. Draco Meteor Miss is kind of sucky for them, but not super duper consequential. I go for some chip with Overheat.
Yeah, I would have only done about 20%, maybe 18, depending on the roll, because of the drop in their special.
Yeah, it's also AV Rotom, so.
Well, yeah, I was doing it based on the damage from the first one.
Right,
so
exactly.
AB.
So here we get a good hit with Sludge Bomb into Grimmsnarl. Good thing about Grimmsnarl is it doesn't really have any reliable recovery, so I can just keep chipping it down and then get rid of its screens later. Here's just more of me whittling opponents down with Volt Switch. Tangrowth comes in, takes anything from this easy. Back out into Audino, so that was annoying. Gonna just defog his screens here, I'm sure. Yep, get rid of the screens. Probably just Volt switching. Yep. Surprised he didn't decide to switch to Excadrill there. So here's where he makes the big mistake with Audino. It's fortunate that I get the 5-hit scale shot there, but...
Fortunate. Yeah.
I mean, he went for the knockoff, so I was going to KO him the next turn anyway, to be honest. Unless he decided to switch out, but then his Audino is pretty much crippled for the rest of the game, so... Predicting the triple axle there, I go into Rotom Heat. And he's not max speed Excadrill. So that was really, really nice for us. We can just get out of there so we don't have to worry about our drops anymore. He goes for the Toxic with Luxray, which also kind of surprised me. Like, Luxray is not... I mean, don't get me wrong. It could be a Stalymon, I suppose, if you wanted it to, but... Not something I would consider packing the Toxic on very frequently.
Well, and also not with the team comp, I feel, because you already have the Grimmsnarl, who's going to be more of a support long game helper. You have the just based on the setup he was running with the Autono, same thing, wish, knock off, just to remove items, wish to heal others. So I don't know if I'd probably want coverage on that, Fire Fang or some type of coverage there to help out the rest of the team.
Yeah, by the time I had removed his choice specs from his Dragapult and then gotten rid of Audino and Excadrill, those were the two biggest threats for my team in terms of punching holes in my team and then healing up his Excadrill potentially with the Audino. So once I had that core down and Dragapult wasn't able to dish as much damage out, I felt I had the game pretty much in hand at this point. The question is, what's the end score going to be, basically? Nice that we were able to get the static pair on Serena. I believe it is I believe it's a Scarf Serena too, so that really crippled it a lot. Might have been AV, but I think it was Scarf. I'll have to watch. Out comes the Flamethrower. We take those, and Floor Cannon will be able to take that out. Oh, we just decided to go for the Ice Beam, I guess. That's an interesting play. Maybe I was expecting him to switch. No. Yeah, maybe into Serena. I don't know. I think either way, Floor Cannon was a better play there. He decides to keep setting up his screens, but that's pretty much a losing battle at this point. Here I'm going to shift gear so I can finish off that Dragapult if it comes back in. So we pick this off with the Ice Beam. Out comes the Pult. We can pick this off too. I specifically sped crept it, so after one shift gear, we'd be exactly 1 point ahead of it in speed if it's timid. Here I went for the stored power. Doesn't do that much to Luxray, which is kind of unfortunate. But we do take its Volt Switch, and we can... I don't think we snagged the KO here, which leads me to believe that the Serena was AV. Actually, it was AV and had the light screen up. That's why that did so little. But we do get the para hacks there. Able to KO it with one more Ice Beam. Luxray comes in, KOs my Magearna, unfortunately, stopping the 6-0, but I will easily be able to
preserve it.
No, I think I thought stored power might kill. But I guess I could have gone out into Garchomp, but I think this thing does get Ice Fang, so I was kind of potentially worried about that too.
Yeah, it gets Ice Fang, Fire Fang.
Yeah.
But he only revealed Volt Switch for the entire match.
No, Toxic too.
Oh, and Toxic, so I don't know.
You would think maybe like
Toxic.
Crunch is pretty common coverage on it. I don't know, but
yeah, definitely a different set for sure.
Yeah, interesting to see a special set.
Yeah, because usually, you're going to run physical with, especially for the team he brought, I feel. Because, like I said, the Grim, the Audino, I would have wanted to...
Go the Guts route, probably.
I probably would have went Guts with Protect, Fire Fang, Ice Fang, Volt Switch for pivots.
Yeah.
Was looking at your team, Fire Fang, Ice Fang, okay. That gives me a counter with Luxray for Magearna. That gives me a counter with Dragapult for Magearna. That lets Excadrill target Magearna. That also lets that and that now hit that.
Yeah, only Rotom would have completely countered it. That's the only mon I think that would have entirely walled it.
Exactly, but it gives him more counters overall with his 3 attackers against your 6 to at least pick up a couple kills.
For sure. So through these 2 games, I'm 2-0 with a +10 differential. Moving on to game 3 here. My opponent brought the Fire-type spam, which is what I was worried about. That's why I picked up Seismitoad here. And the reason I decided not to go with the Rain Dance set is because I scarfed my Seismitoad. Oh, we also picked up Spiritomb this week because Spiritomb is also excellent against my opponent here, as you can see.
I'm curious to see his lead.
I called this too. If you watch my video, I knew he was going to lead Sableye. Here we went out into Spiritomb, thinking we could pick it off. I think he switches here. And I just click the Poltergeist, which does insane damage to this Silvally. We're choice banded with Trick. So here comes my speedy, tanky Miltank. Keep an eye on Miltank this match, guys. So here he's going to be able to basically just take out my Rotom, unfortunately. But my Scarf Seismitoad can come in, revenge it, but not so much because of the Focus Sash. So we lose our 2 Mons there. It's not looking great for us at this point.
Shadow Sneak priority, yeah.
Shadow Sneak to finish that off. Here, I think we decide to switch, fearing that Fairy type multi-attack. Sableye here comes out, but it's pretty whittled at this point. And I'm just going to start tossing off Scalds. I'm surprised he didn't taunt there. If he had taunted there, that would have been probably a better plan for him. I think he does go for taunt in the next turn or two. Recover and then taunt. But I'm just going to keep the offensive pressure on by applying my Scalds, hope for a burn, all that good stuff. And our Vaporeon sidesteps that problem pretty easily. No heavy duty boots on Blacephalon was a surprise, especially considering he doubles. So that means that Blacephalon is going to be almost 50% HP when it comes back in. So this is where I do get a little bit of luck, actually. There's always like that one little bit of luck in every Poke-Technician battle, I feel like. So he's going to continue going for the play roughs. As you can see, his high roll so far is at 32%, and I'm at 33. So he might have a chance to KO me with play rough, but he misses. So I'm able to get really healthy again. Always tossing the wishes, guys. Always keep a wish tossed. So now you're going to see Miltank really take control of this game. We're going to KO the Silvally with Earthquake. We're running Earthquake and Rock Slide here for the Volcarona. Yeah, no heavy duty boots on the Volcarona either. I'm sure you're surprised. Wouldn't have mattered though.
Well, I mean, on a team with no defog, nothing running heavy duty boosts with a lot of things weak to rocks, and with
I was thinking maybe he was running defog on Silvally, but he never revealed it. So,
I mean, if he did, he should have done that before he sacked it instead of the one chip attack.
That's why I kept switching in front of Silvally, because I thought it was going to go for defog, and I thought I can bring my Vaporeon and wish every time for free because he's going to defog, but he never did. So. Gave Miltank a good chance to pick up that 4-0 sweep at the end.
Yeah, he's used multi.
I think he only clicked multi-attack, maybe a parting shot at one point. I think it was only multi-attack.
Clear off scroll, clear off wish, clear off Jirachi's, Volley Fairy.
Oh, he used Rock Slide.
Okay. Rock Slide. Huh. Interesting. I was just that threw me off too, because once I saw Blacephalon didn't have it, I was like, okay, so he at least should have it on a Volcarona because.
Yeah, I definitely prioritized bringing Stealth Rocks this match because he has those threatening dual fire types. And my team is scared by fire, especially with that Ghost Stab on the side. So,
yeah, it was definitely good. I did like the Terrakion. I liked the come in, sash it, get your one dance, get 1 to 2 kills. You know, if he could have followed up on that pressure.
Yeah, that was actually a really scary moment because I had to actually play those exact plays, make those exact plays that I made to get out of that situation, or I probably would have ended up losing. Unless he got a low Rock Blast count on something like my Spiritomb or my Vaporeon.
Well, you had that with the Shadow Sneak, but, go into a 6-2 and...
Yeah, but I had to sack my Scarf Seismitoad to do it,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
which kind of sucked, but we're still at plus 14 differential, 3-0 at this point. Moving into this next match, this is the one that gave me the biggest challenge.
I like Latios. Good thing this is Latios this generation.
Yeah. Not crazy, insane Mega Latios or something. That would suck.
Well, and back before Soldu got nerfed.
Soldu, yeah.
Because that was a hell of a nerf.
So here he reveals the Miracle Nihilego, which actually, like, considering he's at such a good amount of HP, is kind of threatening for my team. I have a lot of special attackers.
Cat out of the bag.
Oh, no big deal. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cat out of the bag with his Miracle. Yeah. He was like, dang it. I shouldn't have revealed it, but. Here I had a really awesome Miltank set again. It doesn't get to shine as much, but it could take on a lot of his team really well. It had play rough and high horsepower. High horsepower for when he brought out his Tapu Bulu and got the grassy terrain up. Can still do quite a number to Heatran, of course, and the Nihilego. And then play rough hits his Latios, his Pessimian. And then I had a Toxic and Milk Drink, I believe, on it. So can pretty much Toxic stall anything else out. So here we just keep applying pressure with our Volt Switch core. Well, that was a really interesting play. Oh, yeah, because I outsped him. That's why. Yeah. All right. So we get our heal bell off, try and maintain the health of our team. He's going to continue to play this game. I'm just going to toss a Wish into one of my electric types or Magirna and start Volt switching again. He goes to Pessimian, so this is really nice for me. I have Static, hoping to get a Static pair on this thing. He decides to just hard switch. Click the discharge, no para here. Mystical Fire, does that come out here? Yep, I do think he does go for the Mystical Fire. Really good predict on his part. However, you will see that this Magirna has some tricks up its sleeve still. Or no, actually it's Scarf Magirna. So yes, tricks up its sleeve, but mostly just an offensive variant this week. Continue to just whittle him down with Volt switches. I have all the checks I need for his team, so if I could just get the right momentum, I can check anything and make the right prediction, hopefully. Shadow Ball, I brought on Vaporeon specifically for Slowbro. Also hits the Latios, which is nice. Here we can catch the Wish, get the grassy terrain, and we're pretty much back to full. Goes for the slack off. For me, this was just like, if he's going to slack off, he's just stalling his own grassy terrain. So that's fine with me. A lot of this game right now is just positioning. Positioning and getting hits off where you can. So here I know he's probably going to switch. I believe I go for the Volt switch. Oh no, T-Wave. I T-Wave him here, yeah. And he brings in the Nihilego. So that's nice. Having this thing slow is really, really good actually for my team because it outspeeds my entire team. So I'm going to play around his Mirror Coat here. Oh. Just going to start healing up my team again. I have so many switches for Tapu Bulu. It's like, it's perfect. Yep, predict the Stone Edge. Going to Magirna to take that. That and a chomp. I'm thinking maybe he's choice locked, but I do find out later that he's not, I believe. I don't think we know that yet, but later I think we find out that he's not choice locked. Flash Cannon here has a chance to Oko. A maximum special defense Bulu, but we do come up just shy there. As they go for a superpower. And then here I think I opt to go for the Volt Switch. It's really nice for me that they didn't bring a ground type. I don't know if they have a ground type. I'm trying to remember. Maybe not. I know they have the Emolga if they wanted to bring Motor Drive or what have you, but out comes the Miltank. We're going to start throwing some Toxics off. Not worried about that Heatran as we have the high horsepower. Same for Nihilego. We outspeed it now since it's paralyzed. Yeah, the big threat on his team is Passimian here, actually. He picked it up right before he played, like a couple days before he played. So I figured he was probably going to bring it, first of all. Second of all, I know like choice Passimian is really, really strong in most situations. So I was fearing the choice Scarf for the most part throughout this battle. So here we just play some mind games with each other, switch around. That's a triple switch for him, I think. Funny thing is, I have Stomping Tantrum on Garchomp also to get around the grassy terrain. So there's no way his Heatran can survive. And this is also a V Garchomp, so I probably didn't need to switch out there, but I did want to conserve it as it, preserve it as it beats pretty much the rest of his team at this point. So now Nihilego is back to full HP, which kind of stinks. Out comes Heatran. We can catch our Wish and Volt Switch out with Magearna. This game is probably the reason why like double players don't like to play singles. This was such a long game to play. I played like, I think this was like an hour-long recording, 40 minutes, 45 minutes of actual match time. Here we just click the pain split because I know that most of his team is at a high amount of HP. Decides to go for the Stealth Rocks. I go for the Volt Switch here.
I'm surprised the Stealth Rocks took so long to come out.
Yeah.
Especially with how much you were bolt switching and y'all were both pivoting a lot. So I'm very surprised he waited so long to bring them.
I agree. At the same time, the problem for him is I was pivoting and I have 3 Mons on my team, 2 that can just straight Oko Heatran, being Garchomp and the Miltank. Actually, Miltank can't Oko it from full.
We don't know its item. Was it Shuckaberry?
It was Chople, I believe, actually, which I was so surprised that they brought Chople because my only real fighting Mon is Hitmonchan.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have some coverage here and there. I could bring like Focus Blast or something. Maybe they were fearing Focus Blast from Magearna. I don't know. Definitely would have brought Shuka if I were them. Shuka paired with the grassy terrain would have really helped them out a lot against potential ground type attacks coming their way for me. So I went for a discharge just to get some damage off, maybe hope for a para. Goes for the Mystical Fire. Cool thing about this Latios is it revealed earlier that it was Choice Scarf Trick. So it no longer has its Choice Scarf. And now our Scarfed Magearna can outspeed it. It wouldn't normally be able to if Latios ran max speed, but this Latios actually sped crept one of my Pokemon. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was Zapdos. So it wasn't at max speed, allowing me to outspeed it. Here's another pivotal moment, finding out if Passimian is Scarf or not. I think here he drops the Draco. And I just go into Vaporeon to take it and get him drop his special attack drop down a bit. I do end up sacking the vape.
Yeah, you kind of had to there because even trying to pivot out, you're gonna die on rock switching.
Right, exactly. So here I just decided to go for the flash cannon because it hits the remainder of his team super duper hard. It's gonna OHKO the Nihilego, and it's gonna do like 75% to the Pissimian. Oh, it was a speed tie, actually. That's what happened. What happened is that he sped crept one of my Pokemon, and I was speed creeping him, and we ended up at like the exact same threshold. So we had a speed tie there. Anyhow, here we just go into Garchomp, which is looking pretty good to clean the game. Takes that like a champ because of its Assault Vest.
And he was -2.
And he was, yeah, special attack dropped. So here, Ice Punch I'm thinking is incoming. Ends up being close combat, yeah. Close combat actually makes perfect sense too. No, so I was going for the static pair there because that was my last shot of beating him if he was a Scarf Pissimian. However, he wasn't, so.
Was he, well, was he banded?
He was banded. Yeah, he was banded.
Hmm.
Scarf Pissimian probably could have finished off my team there.
I mean, yeah.
It would have been maybe a roll on Magearna, maybe, but I don't think so. I think it would have taken Magearna out at that
I don't know.
range.
McGinnis at 35. You come in, you take what, 5% from rocks?
Well, I would have just stayed in before when I was face to face with it.
Okay, so yeah, you'd have been 35. But it was
Yeah,
also close combating.
that probably takes it out. I think this was a pretty offensive variant because it was scarfed. So
Okay, then yeah.
I think I was zero HP investment and 12 defense investment. So
So probably
not very much.
Wow. So if he was scarfed, yeah, he might have been able to pull off the comeback.
Yeah, so I was pretty fortunate to pull out the 2-0. Some kind of sketchy plays on my end, I do think, but for the most part, I planned it well enough to that to be able to pull off the win for sure. So
What? Suspect texting Urshifu S.
did you not know that?
I did not.
Yeah,
That's disappointing.
yeah, that's happening.
That's my buddy.
I know you love Urshifu.
Well, I just like it because I actually use the same exact set in singles and doubles, and
Yeah, it's like a copy paste mon for you that you can just.
yeah, it's just a nice plugin, and he fits on like so many doubles teams and so many singles teams because the role is always the same for him on almost any team, and every team needs his role. You know, like Wicked Blow, or you're gonna sucker punch. If your sash is good, you're just gonna keep clicking Wicked Blow till your opponent can't handle it. And then especially the back game cleaner. I mean, that's how we bear with that 4-0 comeback.
Yeah, that's keeping Urshifu around for the end game is always the way to play it. You just try and make sure you whittle away its threats before it comes and hits the field, and then it can usually clean out most any game. So anyhow, here, this was my match that I played just last night. So spoiler alert, in terms of the standings, after that last game, because I only got a 2-0, Neil was able to leapfrog me by 1 point of differential. So he was at +17 and I was at +16. And Matt Chaw was at +15. And we were all 4-0. So my motivation going into this game was to get as much differential as possible.
Jelson, Bomb Snow. Okay. I'm curious to see if you play similar to how I'm picturing it.
To be frank with you, I think you're going to just see a lot more switching, switching and whittling down his team. Oh, this is the dope thing though, right here. I was going to bring Seismitoad with AV to counter Nidoking, but I brought Rotom instead at the last minute. Click the overheat right here, predicting the Nidoking switch, and Lord Arceus grants me a critical hit to get the OHKO. It was a 2-hit KO anyway, but I mean, he could have switched out of it. So here, I just go into Vaporeon, knowing I can catch the Scald, get the Water Absorb, start Toxicking things. This is a Wish Heal Bell Toxic Scald set on Vaporeon this week.
Poltergeist. Hmm.
Yeah, Vaporeon is just my hard counter for Jellicent here. There's really no way I can lose to it.
Surprised no Poltergeist.
Really, Poltergeist. Physical Poltergeist Jellicent? Yeah.
Well, just as a nice way to hit it, it stabs, so it's going to do a little bit. It's a high power, so you don't have to worry about your low physical attack. But the other benefit is the added investment of removing an item.
Oh, it doesn't remove your item. It removes the effects of, I think, a held item, but it doesn't actually remove your item. You still are holding your item after you get hit by Poltergeist.
Yeah, but you just don't get the effects.
Right,
It's
yeah.
the same. I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, like if it was a berry or something that you wanted to pop or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just running lefties, so it's still, you still get lefties at the end of your turn, I believe.
Hail and Aurora Veil.
Incineroar was another kind of his biggest threat against me, I felt. Especially like a setup set.
Parting shots.
So here I just click the Heat Wave to get some damage off on Clef. I've got the Roost, so I'm not worried about his meager damage from Draining Kiss.
Thanks again.
Here I just finish it off with the Heat Wave.
Bomb Snow.
Now I don't have to worry about it setting up spikes anymore. Urshifu, I know I can outspeed, but my special attack has dropped, so I decide to go into Magirna. Wicked Blow does a heck of a lot, but I can take another one. He decides to go for another one, and I'll knock it out with the Dazzling Gleam.
Why didn't you close combat?
I have a feeling it was choice locked.
Oh,
or maybe predicting me to switch.
Sash.
He was Sash? What? No, he wasn't Sash.
No, I said you should always run Sash.
Oh, not always, but I mean, yeah. In this battle, it probably would have been pretty good because I didn't bring entry hazards. But the problem with Sash for him is that he does have hail.
Yeah.
So.
I think we've only used hazards in one of these 5 games so far.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more worried about removing than I am setting my own hazards. And the problem with hazards for my team is I have 4 defoggers and 1 rapid spinner named Hitmonchan. So I'm almost always going to be bringing a defogger, which means I'm going to be removing my own hazards if I set them. So here I know I can outspeed, so I'm going to Roost Stall out the hail. As he misses his Blaze Kick, that sucks, but it's not really super consequential because I can Roost that damage off. He does connect with one later, so you can see the damage roll, and it wouldn't have been able to do enough. So now we're Lather, Rinse, Repeat back into Vaporeon. Here, Strength Sap is nice, but not very useful because I'm a pretty specially oriented team right here. So Recover might have been the better play for him. Also, I think Hex is probably going to be doing pretty close to what Poltergeist is doing as long as I'm status. Problem is that I have Heal Bell, so I can get rid of that status. Here I went for Scald because I knew Abomasnow was going to switch in. Fish for the burn, and I get it on the second Scald that I've hit it with. And here, Rotom Heat is always the check to Abomasnow. I think he does go for Leech Seed, which was a good play.
Abomasnow does get a Rock Slide.
I do know that, yeah.
I know we had that discussion on the Christmas video.
I had a feeling that, yeah, that's exactly why I knew it, actually. That's true. I had a feeling that he wasn't packing the Rock Slide just because I'd already seen his Aurora Veil, his Leech Seed, and I don't think I've seen his Ice Shard yet, but I know he's packing it for the Garchomp. So I figured he had a Grass type move in his last slot for things like my Vaporeon.
It is interesting to run like something like Leech Seed, I think, in draft without any type of trapping.
Yeah, This Tangrowth actually is packing Leech Seed on my team, but I don't think it ever even hits the field because Abomasnow is just. I didn't want to bring in Tangrowth at any point that Abomasnow and Incineroar were both still around. So there we connect with a Hurricane. I think we just click Hurricane again and then, yeah, finish it off with a Heat Wave. I think I finished it off with Heat Wave, or maybe I switched into Rotom here. Okay, good play. He's burned, so his Ice Shard would have done very little to me. Out comes the Incineroar. We do miss a Hurricane there. Meh. Not a big deal. There's the Blaze Kick. Does 40%, as you can see. Here, I'm just going to keep Roost stalling to burn his Hail. Parting Shot comes off. He's toxic, so his Strength Sap isn't gaining him any ground, like I said earlier. Get rid of the spikes. See what he wants to go for. Will-O-Wisp is an interesting play there. I don't know if he was just like trying to let me finish him off at that point because he had already thrown out the GG. There's only 2 turns left in this game. Out comes the Garchomp. I knew he'd go for the Hex. Could take that, catch the Wish, and Earthquake our way to victory. Oh yeah, he drops to the Poison, which sucks because I wanted to get another kill for Garchomp. Besides Abomasnow, this is Banded Garchomp, by the way. Banded Garchomp literally just absolutely destroys his entire team. During my mocks, I swept once 6-0 with it and once 5-0 with it. And then the other time it came in towards the end of the game and got 3 kills at the end. So I knew it was a good bring for this game for sure.
Root Spike, Straining Kiss. We only got Two-Wicked Blow.
That's a pretty good set there on Jellicent.
Wardale, Ice Shard, Leech Seed. We didn't see its 4th move.
We didn't see its 4th move, so.
Nothing from Nidoking.
Yeah, Nidoking got O-Code.
I wonder if he runs an item on his.
Well, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, real men don't run items on Nidoking, by the way.
That's how you don't. Well, no, his is probably better than mine because.
I don't know what he had on that Nidoking. I was just basically assuming it was going to be a Life Orb set, more or less. If it was Scarf, it was actually really dangerous for my team, but.
Never mind.
What?
I was trying to run a Scarf set last night, but then it got put on my nasty plot Moltres.
Yeah, so go click in the description on Chris's side on his link to his channel and watch that because that was hilarious.
Oh, that was frustrating. I was so mad.
I can imagine you just because you clicked the nasty plot like twice, not realizing that you logged in.
I was +3, and that was like I was like, okay, I can do some stuff with Moltres this game. Let Moltres have some fun, because Moltres has kind of been put to the back burner, and I finally had my I'm safe to nasty plot. I'm +3. I could do it again, and then I'm looking, and I'm like, I'm choice locked. What?
What's going on here? Oh my god.
Anywho,
that's some next level big brain plays right there.
Yeah, now everyone's going to think I'm choice locked and I won't be. So problem solved.
There you go. So yeah, taking a look at the standings, I don't know why it's not auto sorted because I should be in first place right now, actually. Neil has yet to play his game. If he gets anything 5-0, if he gets a 5-0, we're tied. If he gets anything less, I'll be in definitive first place in the standings. And if he gets a 6-0, he'll leapfrog me back into first. We have, as you can see, 3 unbeaten teams being Neil, myself, and Matt Chaw, who is the coach of the Tennessee Tortugas. And we are actually playing next week. So an unbeaten team will fall in week 6.
Well, eventually, at least 2 of them will fall.
Yes, it's a
See.
guarantee. We have a really crazy back schedule coming on. So because I get to play Matt Chaw, I get to play Neil week 8. Matt Chaw plays Neil week 9. So it's going to be really interesting to see how those matchups amongst the unbeaten teams currently turn out.
Yeah, I looking at it, my first impression, because actually this is the first time I really looked at y'all's side of the division here, is
Yeah.
I feel like y'all are more super top heavy
Yeah.
on your side. Because like compared to like if anyone who watched my video, you'll see from yesterday, I think ours were pretty spread out. Like I think I'm at plus
I
plus
think you're +5 or something, it said.
plus 11, I think.
+11. Oh, okay. That's not
I
bad.
got the 6-0 yesterday, so
Oh, right. Yeah.
so I think I'm plus 11. I think Jamie's like plus 15.
Yeah, something like
Uh,
that.
you know what I'm saying? So we still have, pluses similar to like that 19 range, right? In 5 games, whatever. But
22, though. Looking pretty sweet.
I also don't think we have like a lot of people in like double digits negative,
Yeah.
especially being 2 and 3 double digits negative. So what, 2 6-0s?
Yes. He did get 6-0'd twice. He got 6-0'd by Neil and myself, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, so I definitely think, I don't know, I think y'all's is a lot more top player heavy between the 3 of you guys right now, just dominating the show.
Yeah, I think that's really kind of what you can look at as the elite section of our division there. Down below that, I think you're looking at Portland Dugong. I'm surprised to see the British Bruxish that high. I've never played them actually, so that's my battle following my battle with Matt Chaw this week. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. But I think between Portland Dugongs down to the New York Mantykes is kind of like your second tier in the division right now. Like anyone in there is going to be vying for that 4th seed because it looks like the division leader or the top 3 there are probably going to be guaranteed playoffs. So I think it's between those 4 kind of battling for that 4th seed. Not the New York Mantykes, actually. They're probably out, but I know he's a really good player too. So,
Well, one thing I will say too is just they could actually, like that Portland and the British, they actually still have a shot for the 3 seed.
yeah, with Neil not having played yet, yeah.
Well, even if he wins this week, y'all all still play each other. So if one of you goes undefeated, I mean, and then one of y'all is basically going to have to take 2 losses.
Yeah,
I mean, right?
that's for
Because if
sure.
you go, let's say you go undefeated, you're giving both of them 1 loss. They got to play each other. They play each other week 9.
Right.
So they're gonna one of them's gonna have one of them's gonna have 2. You would be undefeated in that scenario. So let's say Portland or the British, if they were to win out, and I don't think British plays Portland here, New York. I don't think the British plays you here,
Yeah.
so they have a chance to actually win and earn their that 3rd seed if they really,
Yeah, if they were able to beat me and win out or come close to it, perhaps. Yeah.
And then on the Dugon side, the other 2 lost team right now, they play Mantykes, who are 1 and 3. They play Piplups, which is Neil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and then they play Puerto Rican Rillabooms, who are at the bottom of the division. And yeah, they end it with Tennessee. So it's still a possibility we see an upset here, especially because like y'all all play each other, and you never know, man. When you come off that big game,
That's true.
mistakes
It's the
happen
trap
after you get
game.
to it. It is.
Well, and I'm playing a really good opponent. So, I mean, it was going to be hard no matter what. And the thing for me is I prep the same way for every single battle, whether it's the number 1 in the division I'm playing or the very last person in the division. So the effort in the prep is always there. So it's mostly going to come down to in-game decision making. But I do see myself taking one of the two battles, I think, whether it's against Neil or Matt. I think I can at least go 50-50 with those.
That's how you aim. I just, like I said, I picked the 4 guys in my division. I wanted to at least go 50-50 against the 4 top guys, and I had already done that at least.
Right.
So that was my happy story.
You only have Matt left to play out of those 4, right?
Yeah, and I'm 2-1 against them,
Yeah.
like against the 4. So even losing to Matt, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I still went 50-50 against you 4. That's
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really good. You came close. I mean, you had an opportunity against Jamie too.
yeah, dude. I mean, and honestly, like looking back at it, there was plays where like Nidoking was attacking and he had him on that barely lived early on in the match, and that no item, if it did have the life orb on it,
Yeah, might have
yeah,
made the difference there.
it literally was. I calced it too because I was curious, and it was the difference between that kill, which, those early game kills, they add up the momentum, and especially with a team like mine, that very hyper offensive, like just bruising their way through. It's very important they grab momentum as soon as possible.
Yeah, once you get rid of one piece, one of your opponent's pieces, it makes way for something that would have checked on your team to plow through the rest of the opponent's team a lot of times. So
Yeah.
it's really nice.
But overall, yeah, the vision looks good over here. It's definitely going to be an exciting couple weeks, guys.
Yeah, we got 4 weeks left and then playoffs. And I'm hoping that we can maybe hop on and do one more of these before playoffs comes into play.
Yeah, I would think I would like to do like right after week 9,
Yeah.
before we do any of our playoff matches, and kind of just do that final regular season report card,
Yeah.
and then we'll do predictions because those are always fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we could even do like a bracket. That'd be super fun.
Yeah, do like fantasy football draft with playoffs.
And if you guys have listened this far in the video, make sure to comment down below who you're rooting for. And let me know what you thought of those videos of my battle so far this season. What can be improved, what you thought about my team in general. I'm really interested to hear some critiques.
Yep. I'll make a fun. Steven, you want to make a bet?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So let me find a game we can bet on here in your side of the division that's moderately competitive. That's the Muse play. When do Muse play Rillaboom? They play week 7.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, and then when do you play a good opponent?
Well, okay, here's what's up. So week 8, me versus Neil, that's the finals matchup from last season.
Okay.
So that's me going for revenge for the finals.
And then I'm playing, let me double check when I play Matt. I think I play Matt week 8 as well. Let me just verify that that is correct for this bet. Week 8. Okay, so I play Matt week 9. So here's the bet. We're gonna bet on this game right here.
Because that's just a fun one.
On who gets their win between the Rillaboom and the Muse. And the winner can bench one Pokemon from the other team's roster for that big game. My game against Matt and your game against Neil.
Oh, that's scary. That's pretty scary.
I'll let you even pick who you go for, and I'll take the other one.
Okay. Oh, that's tough. Let's see. I like the Utah Muse team better, but I think from what I've seen from gameplay so far, I'll probably go with the Puerto Rican Rillaboom.
All right, Muse. That means I got y'all. So basically, at the end of week 7 when they play, we'll see who wins. And if it's me, I'll get to bench one Pokemon from Steven's roster against his match with Neil. If Steven's Rillabooms win, he will get to bench one Pokemon from my roster when I play Matt in week 9.
Oh man, I'm gonna cry if I lose. I really need. Oh, you're gonna screw me over. I know it.
No, I wouldn't do anything too impactful.
Don't take my Garchomp, please.
Oh, I was totally thinking something different, but that's a good idea.
Well, it is my kill leader, so I don't know. That's what I figured would be your first thought.
You could take one of my top 2 kill leaders.
We'll see what happens. I'll look at the matchup and I'll pick something out that I really think will mess you up.
Oh, okay. That's a deal. All right, guys. Well, from my side, thank you guys for watching this far, and let us know who you think's going to win between those two, and throw some comments on this video for what Pokemon you think we should ban from the other's team. If you go watch mine, you'll see my team recap. You watch the beginning of this one, you'll see where we went over Stevens, and throw some ideas out there for both of us to ponder when it comes to each other's team.
Definitely. Yeah. I need to get some, I need to start nasty plotting.
You are only allowed to use scarfed items.
Yeah. I'll nasty plot really, really fast. Chris, man, thank you so much for coming on the channel. This has been a really cool collaboration, and we look forward to giving you guys more news soon.
Always, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Peace out.